Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Downs. We are playing more Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode we did the Goldsmith questline, and today we're gonna go continue with our beautiful little crafting job quest. I've not been awake for super long, so keep that in mind. Well, this is my favorite letter worker. I'm certain you'd be too busy selling to lords and ladies in Ishgard to ever come visit. But you've come at a good time. I've need of a woman with your talents. We recently received a rather unusual request for a letter worker. I wouldn't dare entrust it to the others, and I'm too busy. I'm much too busy. If you've the time to come visit, then I'm sure you can fit this into your schedule. Head down to the Shaded Bower and have a talk with Atolun. Tell her I sent you, and she'll explain everything. Run! Run, bitch! Run! Lina there of the Letter Workers Guild? Ah yes, Chiva has told me about you. A darling protege who's gained some small bit of fame for services rendered here in Gredalia and Ishgard. Well, your honors and accolades mean naught to Eorzea's premier naturalist, Atolun. Henceforth, I, and I alone, shall be the judge of your worth. You should be happy, proud even, to assist me with my noble works. 'Tis not often one has the opportunity to serve as my lady in wait, my dutiful apprentice. Daunted by my celebrity, I see. Worry not, under my careful guidance, your skills will be put to good use. This, I can assure you. Until now, I have been collaborating with my first assistant, Marset, to write articles for the New Eorzea Geographic, I have no idea whatever. Now I would love to continue with my writings. A duty of much greater importance has drawn my attention. In my research of the Calamity's efforts on the environment, it has become clear that the abnormal rate at which the realm is changing far outstrips the pace of animal adaptation. Indeed, I fear certain species now face extinction. And what manner of naturalist would I be if I did not do all in my power to save it? Alas, time is not on our side, which is why, in the event I am unable to save these humble creatures, I would preserve them through taxidermy, that future generations may still gaze upon their splendor. That is why I conferred with Guildmaster Jiva, and why you now stand before me. If you believe yourself capable of the task at hand, I shall make you my 70-second assistant. What say you? Confidence, good. In time I will know if there is any talent to match. In any case, your contributions will not go unrecognized. You shall be duly credited in my next publication of New Eorzean Geographic, as etc. Now, your first task shall be a simple one. Speak with Research Assistant 71, Enyon, at the Carline Canopy. Well, what are you waiting for? Why is it that, like, everything that has to do with the leather workers is always just, like, cutthroat and very not nice? I'm starting to see a pattern over here. Oh, are you the leather worker, Miss Atolun, of course? I mean, hired to help with the mounting? You volunteered? I mean, working under isn't unpleasant, mind you. It's just, well... who am I kidding? She calls us assistants, but I know the truth. We're just a bunch of servants to her. My name is Enyon, by the way. Number 71, the taxidermist, she calls me. To be honest, it's just a hobby, but she won't listen. Ugh, she never listens. It's sad when animals die, you know? But when I mount them, it's like they never really left. So I practice every chance I get to make the best mounts I can. I'm no good at preparing skins, though. They are always so unsightly and misshapen when I've finished. Working with an honest-to-God's leather worker like yourself, I bet they'll look so real, folks will swear they're still breathing. I should probably be heading back, or else I'll upset Miss Atolun again. Anyway, it was nice meeting you. Boo, 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 boo. Forward and back, and a forward and back, and I go forward and back, and a one step forward. Hello? Yes? No? Somehow I clicked on somebody else through the aetheryte crystal. Intriguing. Interesting maneuver. There you are, honestly. Did you get lost on your way back here? My time is quite precious, you know, though I suppose it is important for peers to establish amicable relations. I forgive you, this time. Now that we have dealt with the formalities, our team is assembled. The fledgling young taxidermist who knows naught of leatherworking, and the leatherworker who likewise knows naught of taxidermy. Two halves that shall make a lovely whole. Under my sage guidance, the two of you shall make displays unlike anything the realm has ever seen. Yes, lifelike displays that will preserve the beauty of the realm's blessed creatures now and forevermore. Future generations will look upon our minds and envy the age when these animals proudly walked the earth. But first, I must prepare. Selecting animals for minding, finding an ideal venue. There's much to be done. I trust you will make good use of this time to hone your skills. Ah, number 72. Ready for work, I see. Wonderful. Not long ago, I was able to secure a location for our exhibition of animal mounts, a small clearing near the Leatherworkers Guild. Would that we had a more prominent location, but no matter. Considering the nature of our work and its purpose, the Leatherworkers Guild will do nicely. More importantly, I have selected our first specimen for mounting, the majestic Dalmal. This is no ordinary Dalmal we are looking for, mind you. What we seek is the elusive Hengur Dalmal in the Sea of Clouds. To the untrained eye, they are indistinguishable from the average Dalmal. Upon closer inspection, however, you will find that they have hackles along their backs, which can appear quite pronounced when they are startled. As their numbers continue to dwindle, finding an ideal specimen will prove difficult. And the last thing we need is to exacerbate the problem of their declining population by killing one. No, we will need to find a Dalmal that has recently passed on. This will require a skilled hunter, one familiar with the terrain. You wouldn't happen to know of such a person, would you? Well, there's the Vanu. Why would you know of the Vanu? Never mind. If you believe you can convince them to assist us, I suppose it is worth a try. We must make for Oxuno at once, where you will arrange an audience with their people. Let us be off. Mounting expectations. I see what they did there. There you are, number 72. What have I told you about keeping me waiting? You must hurry and introduce me. And not to some piddling merchant or villager. I will settle for nothing short of their village elder. Yes. I think it's the ideal way to ensure our needs are met swiftly and without incident. Warlows. Does Netherling seek Dalmals of hunger? Say no more. Zindel are honored to repay kindness of the great warrior who defeated the White. Excuse me for interrupting, but I could not help but notice your huts appear to be made using the bones of Dalmals. Yes, Zindel use Dalmals for many things. Their meat fills our bellies, their skin covers our backs, and as Netherlings say, their bones build our homes. Quite impressive. It's not often I see game hunted and put to use so thoroughly. To take a life is to bear great responsibility. Nothing can be wasted. To ask for a Dalmal so rare, we trust you understand this. To find fresh remains is no easy task. I will leave this to Sanu Vanu. He is our greatest hunter. You may wait here until he finds the Dalmal you seek. Well, thank you, Sanu Vanu. Your kindness this day will be remembered for generations to come. Pardon me, Miss Ataloon, but I'm awfully glad you've gone to such trouble to get a Dalmal. Really, I am. It's just, well, never actually seen a live Dalmal before, and you've never seen a Dalmal before. By the 12, how do you expect to fashion a suitable mannequin if you've never seen them for yourself? Dalmals of hunger are scarce, but all look very similar. If Netherling would see Dalmals, you needn't travel far. Then it's settled then. Number 72. Take number 71 to go and see the Dalmals. from their long, elegant necks down to their hoofs, he must become intimately familiar with their carriage. For the southeast of Oxuna they graze in great numbers. May Zephyr once carry you safely. Something tells me this is going to be a long quest line. I was so happy with the armor quest line being so simple. Not taking too much time. I do not know why I'm so obsessed on like how long these things take. I think it's more because I'm not gonna lie, my interest in doing these quests isn't very high. Well, it's still fun to a certain degree, but it's not super interesting. There they are, can you see them? We have to be sure to get a good look. Miss Etalon, Etalon? I'm just gonna call her Etalon. Said you have to inspect every ilm of them. I expected this to be what we were doing. Look over every ilm of the Dalmul. Wow, this is much better than any picture. Look at its neck. Gosh, am I supposed to make a model that supports something that long? Alright, I think I have an idea of what to do. The neck may prove difficult though. Let's head back to Miss Edelin. By number 71's look of excitement, I would assume the two of you observed the Dalmals without incident. The Vanavanu have brought us a fine specimen. The hackles along its back and the divide of its hoofs are unmistakable. This is indeed a Hanker Dalman, and by the condition of the body it would seem its passing was not long ago. While the loss of any life is always a tragedy, let us take solace in the fact that its life ended peacefully. I know not what great deeds you have done that warrant such generosity, but I should hope your work on our Dalmal mount will warrant the same praise. I've called for an airship to come and retrieve the Dalmal, though I fear it cannot carry us all. Your adventurers often use Aetheroids for travel, yes? While we see to it, to the Dalmal's delivery, pray use the Aetheroid to return, and do try not to take too long this time. We shall wait for you at the clearing near the Leatherworkers Guild. Number 71 should be finished preparing the Dalmal's pelt by the time you arrive. Finally, you're here. As promised, the Dalmal's pelt is ready for you. If you are as skilled as Jiva claims, you should have no trouble turning this into a resplendent cape of the highest quality. And please, be careful with that pelt. I will not stand to see the Vanu's hard work go to waste. I would rather not bother them for want of another Dalmal so rare. When you have finished, deliver it to number 71. Together with his mannequin, we shall have the finest mount the realm has ever seen. Right. A mannequin is going to look great with that cape, I just know it. A Dalmal hide expertly trimmed and prepared for stuffing. It's amazing, my skins are usually full of holes after removing all the fat. You've even kept all the coarse hair on the back. Miss Etalin was right to hire you. It is up to you now to see our mount is complete. Number 72, I would ask you to observe his work. It should prove an educational experience. I'm not sure there's much to learn from watching me, but I'll do what I can. Show me what you got. Look at this dude. Phew, it's done. Piecing it together was harder than I thought. Then again, I've never made a mount this big before. Good thing I remember what the Vanu said about the Dalmal bones back at Oxundu. It came in handy when I was working on the neck. I see, meeting with the Vanu was more beneficial to our work than I could have hoped. I couldn't have finished without Lynn though. There's no way I could fit a cape that big on a mannequin by myself. Nevertheless, this is an excellent start to our collection. Considering Dalmal skin products have gained popularity here in Gridania, this is certain to draw the people's attention to our cause. That said, your work is far from finished, my dear assistant. Before we set to work on our next mount, however, I would gauge reactions to our first creation. In the interim, pray reflect on what we've done thus far and see if there is aught you can do to refine your skills. I've always found like mounted creatures so creepy. Not particularly a fan of it. Ah, number 72. Have you heard word of our work? Oh, of course you've heard. How could you not when our Dalmal is the talk of the town? Yet even so, I find it curious no one has inquired about its distinctive hair and hooves. You would think such stark differences from your typical Dalmal would compel even a handful of people to ask. No matter, it will be all we can do to keep inquiries at bay when we present them with our next mount, the mighty bear. Not just any bear, mind you, but the rapacious grizzly bear, indigenous to the lands bordering Kiripania. Sadly, the fruit that serves as a staple of their diet has grown increasingly scarce in the wake of the calamity, and as their food supply dwindles, so too do their numbers. Though there is little we can do to restore their primitive source of sustenance, we can still do our part to let people know of their plight. Now then, make your way to East End. When you arrive, I would suggest speaking with the soldiers stationed at Castle Oriens to learn precisely where the bears can be found. I shall remain here to keep watch over the Dalmal Mount, and for any wayward souls that may seek enlightenment. You heard me, Settleman. Let's get going to Giribania. Hopefully the soldiers can point us in the right direction. Okay, boy. I'm gonna tell you what, boy. This Dalmal is just gonna be here now. Onion. We can ask more people if we split up. Could you try asking around the eastern side of the base? I'll stay around the main gate and see what I can learn. What's up? You're after grizzly bears. There used to be plenty of them to the south near Bittermill. Can't say I see too many of them now, though. So there used to be a lot of bears near Bittermill? I guess the fruit they like to eat must have grown there. If it still does, there may be a few bears in the area. Let's have a look. Unbearable. Oh man. Sometimes I have like moments where I kind of realize how insane I am. Or where it feels like I've reached insanity in any case. Hello. Are you alright? I said I was safe when I reached Bittermill, but instead I only found more monsters to chase me. It wasn't all bad though. When I was running I saw a grizzly bear near the river. Come on, maybe there's more we can use for a mount. I thought you're supposed to do a certain amount of duties as a warrior to get the bear. War bear. It's dead. Look at these scars. I'm not sure if we can use this for a mount, but I doubt we'd like to find another one. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to try. Can you help me upgrade the pelt? Skin a bear, but its pelt is marred with gashes. Well, I suppose we have our pelt. Shame it's in such poor condition. Let's head back to Gridania for now. Maybe Miss Satellon can think of something to do with it. I think it would almost to God be like pretty thematically accurate for a grizzly bear to be quite tainted. to be quite scarred. The value of life. Do you value life? Finally, you're back. If you would deign to keep me waiting this long, I can only assume you have brought an immaculate specimen for the exhibition. The bristly hide of a ferocious Valadina grizzly bear. Countless holes attest to difficulty in bringing down the beast. No, no, no. The pelt is ruined. What is the meaning of this? What happened? I'm sorry, Miss Ataloon. The grizzly bear was already covered in scrapes and scars when we found it. There was no telling when we'd find another, so we skinned it as best we could and came back. I see. I appreciate your effort, but I'm afraid there's nothing we can do with a pelt in such poor condition. We can use it to make something else. If you believe you can make something of this pelt, then perhaps. The only question is what. Miss Attalin, Lynn, could we make it into clothing? There's something I can wear as a reminder of the bear's sacrifice, and while we're working to make these animal mounts. An excellent idea, number 71. Number 72. I imagine working with a skin such as this will prove difficult, so I would suggest making something simple. A nice pair of gloves, perhaps? When you've finished, give them to number 72. And number 71. Fuck, Jesus. Just call us by our names, goddammit. God dang it, dang it. I know the pelt was in rather poor shape, but I hope you can manage to make something of it. A thick pair of protective gloves crafted from the tanned hide of a grizzly bear. Oh, how grizzly! Wow, you really did it! These gloves look amazing. Certainly hope they fit alright. Working bear skin into gloves is no easy feat, but their durability and resilience to cold makes it worth the effort. Why, I can scarcely even notice the material was tarnished prior to their making. The leather is so smooth, it's like nothing ever happened. Thank you so much, Lynn. I'll cherish them always. You've done well, number 72. Though I wish to add a grizzly bear to our collection of animal mounts, I will not ask that you risk the danger of Kiribania for another. Scarce as they are, I doubt you will find one. These gloves must serve as testament to the rarity of this poor creature, now on the brink of extinction. But there are still myriad the species in equally dire straits. It is up to us to make the realm aware of their struggles, and to preserve their grace and beauty for future generations. Indeed, our work is far from over. Until I have decided on our next subject for mounting, I pray you will use your time wisely and prepare. Number 72. Come to bask in the splendor of our Dalmal mount, I see. Well, this is no time for gawping. Rather, it is time to resume our work. A pity we could not add a bear to our collection, but even alone the Dalmal has garnished no small amount of attention. No more than one occasion, I've seen people stopping to read the signboard I posted. Can't believe so many people are coming to see something I helped to create. Next month will be even better. Outrageous! How dare this happen without my consent? Oh no. Oh, this is why everyone has been crowding about the Yellow Leatherworkers Guild of late. What sort of sick, twisted joke is this? That's one of the heroes. What does he want with us? I assure you, sir, this is no joke. This mount was fashioned in an attempt to The elementals weep for this poor creature. How they cry out in anger. An affront to the Twelveswood, if there ever was. To ignore it is to invite the green wrath upon us all. You three, are you responsible for this? By order of the Conjurers Guild, I demand you to take down this grotesquerie at once. take it down, but all our hard work. Interesting that he brings it up and not the dude who actually is, you know, the person who leads the Conjurers Guild. Ah, the nerve of that man. Took every ounce of my being to hold my tongue. Close-minded fool. How can he not see the benefits of our work? The opportunity we offer Gerdanians to learn about animals that live beyond the borders of Tweleswood. And he dares to call himself a hero. How he abuses his position that he might do as he pleased. The sight of him is enough to make my skin crawl. Ah, excuse me. Got a little carried away there. Though it pains me to concede to such swine, we cannot deny the will of the elementals. I have no doubt that one of your talents could quickly resolve the situation, but this requires a more civilized approach. Indeed, we must settle this in a matter as befitting naturalists. The Leatherworkers Guild is certain to have dealt with similar opposition in the past. Number 72. Go and speak with Jiva and see what advice she has to offer on the matter. Jiva! Oh, Jiva! Pray enlighten me as to how you can stay in business in this hellhole. The woman of the hour, with everyone stopping by to have a look at that mount you're tight, I knew it was only a matter of time before you came. What can I do for you? Did they now? You know, there was a time when leather goods were criticized as being extravagant and wasteful. It took a great deal of effort on the part of the leather workers here, but eventually opinions changed. They had to prove what they made was worth the cost of lives sacrificed in the process. Unless you can do the same with your mounts, you won't be convincing the heroes of anything. Actually, that gives me an idea. I'll need to prepare a few things first, though. In the meantime, I would have you attend to something else. We're going to need a Dalmalskin jacket, and I can think of none better than you to make it. Besides, it's been too long since I've seen your work. Rondel will have everything you need at the front desk. When you've finished, I should have everything ready for the next step in my plan. Hello. Good to see you. I trust you've been keeping busy. Goodness knows goodness knows we have with all these commissions we received of late. But enough about my ramblings. As Guildmaster Jiva tells it, you have much work to do. Here's the Dalmal that I was requested. If you should have need of more, pray do not hesitate to ask. Right. Dalmal jacket, Dalmal jacket. A dashing Dalmal skin jacket. Simply dashing. How's the jacket coming along? I hope my faith in you all this time hasn't been misplaced. Sophisticated outerwear for the discerning gentleman or woman. You've impressed me, Lynn. I was worried you might have forgotten what you learned here, but it's clear you've done quite the opposite. Well done. Excuse me, Lynn. Here, Miss Atherton wants to speak with her. She says it's quite urgent. Right on time. Come here for a moment. I need you to try on this jacket. A jacket? What about Miss Atherton? And who are you, anyway? Come here, boy. Wear this jacket. There we are. How's the fit? It's actually quite nice. I usually hate leather clothing because they're so stiff when new, but this is quite soft. It's really light and warm too. I imagine whoever uses this will be grateful to have it. It's time we move on to the next part of my plan, a leatherworkers exhibition, with that jacket on display. There's no time for an exhibition. We're busy enough as it is fighting our fight to keep our Dalmal mount, which is precisely why we'll be putting them on display together. The mere mention of an exhibition will be enough to draw a sizable crowd. This will afford Ataloon an opportunity to teach people about the endangered Dalmals of Abalathia. I've already reserved Miketo's amphitheater. All we need now are the mounts she would have on display. That's a great idea, miss. I'll go and inform her right away. Miss, he hasn't the slightest idea of who I am, does he? Suppose it can be helped for now. Be sure to give Atherton my regards. Man, the fucking... the cock on this woman is ridiculous. Ah, number 72. If only I'd come sooner. I left only for a moment, but in my absence, Marmaduke and his gaggle of goons made off with our mount. What came of your talks with Jiva? I should hope some good may yet come of all our efforts. Instruction under the guise of a leatherworkers exhibition. Yes, that just might work. Jiva's ever been one with an eye for opportunity. First we must deal with Marmaduke and his attempts to deny the good people of Gridania an opportunity to enlighten themselves. Before our work was stolen, I took it upon myself to speak with an associate of mine, another hero of the Conjurers Guild. When I broached the subject of our mount, and the elemental's apparent dissatisfaction with using animal skins in such a fashion, he was completely and utterly bewildered. In truth, neither the heroes of the Conjurers Guild nor the Seedseers have expressed any opposition to our work. Marmaduke merely uses the elementals as an excuse to impose his ideals on others. Well, he is not the only one with influence here in Gridania. One way or another, we shall have a mount to our exhibition. I have exhausted every resource at my disposal, but I could find neither hide nor hair of the Dalma mount. I hoped it would not come to this, but we have no choice but to fashion a new mount. As a precautionary measure, I have already decided on our next specimen, the majestic Gagana. Those gargantuan birds in Girabania? I never realized they were endangered. I do not speak of the common Gagana. What we seek is these three-feathered Gagana. They are quite rare, and sought for use in fine goods. Their population has dropped markedly over the years. Unfortunately, this means I must once again put the two of you in harm's way. If it means having a mount for the exhibition, then we at least have to try. Gaganas live in the fringes, right? I'll go ahead to cast some Orions and see if anyone knows where to find them. See you there, Lynn. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-da. Castrum oranges. Yes, you heard me. Right. Enyon. I'm afraid we have a problem, Lynn. I spoke with everyone who would care to listen. No one has seen us three-feathered Gagana here in quite some time. With Miss Athelin, it's as Miss Athelin said, the plumage of the three-feathered Gagana is, or rather was, highly sought for Garabanian finery. Before the calamity, when Dalamud slowly began its descent, they say the public group panicked, believing the world might come to an end. People began squandering their money on things they normally couldn't afford. Clothing made from the three-feathered Gagana was desired above all. The man declined after the calamity, but it was too late, never recovered from the overhunting. Miss Athelin was counting on us to find one for the exhibition. I don't want to return to her empty-handed. Has to be another way. From the sounds of it, we're only going to find the common variety of Gagana here, and it's not as if we could dress one to... Wait, that's it? While it's true this three-feathered Gagana was valued for the sheen of its feathers, the greater distinction between it and other Gagana lies in the distribution of feathers on its body. You think if you found a normal Gagana you could change the arrangement of its feathers? It'll be difficult with only books for reference, but I'm certain a leatherworker of your caliber can do it. There's still hope for the exhibition. Miss Athelin was lucky to find a leatherworker like you to help us. But if we're going to make a convincing mount, we'll need a good mannequin. And I've never seen a Gagana in person before. Let's see if we can find some. I heard they nest around Virjala. Let's go over here. I know this place very well. Because, well... For what was it again? I think it was for Lynn's gear, actually. I think it was for Lynn's level 70 gear, where I needed a buttload of Gagana skins. Needed a lot of Gagana skins, if I recall correctly. Kind of a ridiculous amount. Oh, one of the most chill pieces of music in this game. I never realized the Gagana was such a beautiful and majestic bird. If it's alright with you, I'd like to observe them just for a while longer. I think I'm ready to head back. Our Gagana mount is going to be great, at least I hope it is. Can I ask you a question? I know Miss Athelin means well and all, but Marmaduke was absolutely furious. If other people are just as angry, maybe we shouldn't be making another mount. What do you think? We've come too far to run away now. You're right, it's true we've had a few setbacks, but Miss Athelin is counting on us. And if I'm going to be a real taxidermist someday, I will have to do everything I can to make this one perfect. Let's head back to Gridania. She wanted to know what we have planned. So just like become a new staple, me just singing along to songs, which is not the great to do. At least I don't think so, because, well, I wouldn't say that I'm super steady. At last you returned, and with nary a scratch. Anyone has told me everything. Pity you were unable to find a true three-feathered Gagana. I know stouts of the birds had grown scarce over the years, but I never imagined the situation was so dire. Your plans to recreate the three-feathered Gagana using the pelt of a normal one, is that right? This is no small task you place upon yourself. With the exhibition fast approaching, we can afford no mistakes. If all goes as planned, this will be a final task for me. All the more reason I should accept nothing short of perfection. Though I loathe being made to wait, I will make an exception for this. Handle the pelt with care, and do not give it to 71 until you are absolutely satisfied with your work. If anything should happen to it, inform me immediately, and I might procure another. Nothing will happen to this, because I will just easily craft it high quality in one go. And even if I didn't have this skill, it would still be piss easy. Have you finished yet? I just noticed Gagana is going to look great. A Gagana hide expertly trimmed and prepared for stuffing. This is incredible. It's a spitting image of a three-feathered Gagana. I can already picture the looks on people's faces when they see my mannequin dressed with this. It's going to be our finest mount yet. Placement of plumage on this pelt is immaculate. Well done, number 72. Now I must be off to the amphitheater. I've posted flyers all about Gridania to ensure our desired audience is in attendance. Everything must be ready for his arrival. Be careful with that pelt, number 72. And remember, nothing less than perfection will suffice. Bird up. I was hoping people would be excited to see our mount up there, but they actually seem kind of mad. We worked so hard on it though. I'm sure Miss Ataloon can make them understand. Just when I thought Gridania had reclaimed some modicum of decency, you'll suspend this farce of an exhibition at once. Silence! I will hear no more of your fabricated tales of the elementals. Our work is not a mockery of these animals, but a tribute to their majesty. If you would cease your blustering for only a moment, I will explain to you, and the good people here in attendance, why. Thank you for gathering here today. I wish to speak with you regarding a matter of grave concern, one often overlooked in the hustle and bustle of our lives here in Gridania. To start, I would have you consider this, the three-feathered Gagana. A rare breed highly valued by the people of Kiribania. Before the calamity, as Dalamud began its boatful descent, demand for this bird's plumage would see its population drop substantially. Its natural habitat has undergone drastic changes since then, so much so, some believe there may be none left. The Damel, which once stood outside the Leatherworkers Guild, represented a species that also struggled with a declining population. As the environment continues to undergo radical changes, these innocent creatures and countless others will be pushed to the brink of extinction. We obviously cannot bend the laws of nature to return the world to what it once was, but we can still do our part to preserve their homes, and what few of them remain. We must also show restraint in our hunting, lest their peers become endangered as well. Take, for example, this jacket crafted from Damel hide. Demand for its leather has grown noticeably of late. What do you suppose will happen as more hunters are drawn to the Sea of Clouds? Seeing only the products born of their hides, it is far too easy to forget the sacrifice of these animals. We must protect them as we do the balance of life here in the 12th Wood. To do otherwise would be grievous squandering of resources. You want to talk? What is the display other than a waste of skin? You claim it has an educational purpose, but one could simply read a book. And you have read such a book? I should hope you have, and that you are highly knowledgeable as a result, given that you wear clothing made of their hides. Well, What about you? Do you know anything of Damels or Kaganas? These people have a right to know what is happening to the world outside of Gridania, to know the cost of the goods they would otherwise take for granted. Here, Marmaduke, perhaps now you would be willing to consider the merit of Atalun's work. These mounts are not meant to offend anyone. They are a lasting reminder of the life sacrificed for the clothing on our backs, and a tool to arouse interest in the study of animals so many would otherwise ignore. You might think these specimens a grim reflection of their living counterparts, but they preserve a truth that mere words cannot express. Surely you understand the virtue in that? More than you realize, for it is my duty, nay, my privilege, to hearken to the elementals and bear witness to such truths, that you might maintain the delicate balance of life here in the Shroud. I see now you wish only to share with these people knowledge I have long taken for granted. I would ask you for your forgiveness for my recent wrongdoings. The Trolls would suffered greatly in the calamity, and in the years since, it has only grown weaker. The sight of your mount was more than I could bear. But through the sacrifice of these few, countless more may be saved. If your creations serve to bring these good people wisdom, and instill in them a greater respect for the blessed creatures of this land, and I will condemn them no longer. Then I will carry on, for it is my duty to illuminate the dark with the light of knowledge. Before I continue, I must first give thanks to the two skilled artisans who made this possible. My darling assistant, the aspiring taxidermist, who pieced together the splendid Kagana mount, and the gifted leatherworker who prepared both the jacket and Kagana's pelt. So gonna be another cutscene because it's loading. Yep, son of a bitch. It has been far too long since I lectured before an audience so large. I hope I didn't bore you. I hope I didn't bore them. You're perfect, Miss Atalun. They were hanging on your every word. And did you see how everyone was admiring the Gagana mount? Today was amazing. Or something. I did not read that last word. Indeed it was. A great many people learned a valuable lesson. Thanks in no small part to the two of you. And with that, I do believe my work here is done. And Eon Lin, you have my sincerest thanks. Come now, you two. When my assistants are deserving of praise, I will not hesitate to give it. Even I have to admit that Kagana mount is quite impressive. It's not often the amphitheater draws a crowd like that. Between that and the lecture, I'd say the exhibition was a resounding success. Lin is so... What's the word? There's a word for it. Yep, I don't know, easily flustered, I guess. Thanks for the compliment, but building the mannequin was the easy part. Lynn's the one who made the incredible cape to dress it. She's been like a big sister looking out for me every step of the way. Now that we finished though, I think I'll stay in Gridania a while longer. There's still a lot to learn about leatherworking, and I have plenty left to share about making animal mounts. Well, looks like I have a new recruit. Don't think I'll go easy on you just because you're a friend of Lynn's either. Rather the contrary. Wait, you're the guildmaster? I thought you were just a friend of hers. I admit I was doubtful of your abilities as a leatherworker, but I'm grateful to have been proven wrong. Thanks to you, we have touched the hearts and minds of a good many people here in Gridania. But this is only the beginning. When I publish the result of our work here, all corners of the realm shall know the great naturalist Atlan. Indeed, the shining star that is my career has only begun to shine. Has only just begun to shine. Whatever. Ah, did I not tell you? Not long after I finished my lecture at the amphitheater, reservations for the next publication of New Eurasia Geographic began to pour in. What's more, here Marmaduke plans to speak with the other Seedseer to have my publication instituted as a reference work for the Seedseers Council. I left Marset to gather the better part of my research and writings, but this will require nothing short of my undivided attention. My work must be thorough and comprehensive. I foresee much traveling as well, yes, across the whole of Eorzea and then the world. Perhaps we will meet again on a distant shore. Should that day come, I'd be honored to receive your assistance once more. Nice. And that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Legends. We were playing Final Fantasy XIV, and next episode we're gonna go and deal with... we're gonna go and do the Weaver questline, which I hope is going to be fun. I'm really hoping this one's gonna be fun. Because, well, it's about clothing, and clothing is always fun. Anyway, goodbye.